Evening, everybody. It is February 6th, 2021, and we are here for our next installment of Star Trek Radio Theater Season 2 as we continue our Mirror Universe theme into this season. This is one of my all-time favorite episodes, Mirror Mirror, the original series version of Mirror Mirror, the introduction of this whole concept. And we're really excited. It's even smaller cast this week. We're going because this episode does not require many parts. Well, and the parts it does require are doubles of our existing characters. A bottle episode if there ever was one. So this is a great one to bring to you tonight. We're going to come on screen and do the reading. We hope you enjoy the show. All right, let's come off video.
We focus on the planet's surface. Kirk, Scott, McCoy, and Uhura are with the local leader, Tharn, when lightning threatens.
We believe what you say, Captain Kirk, but our position has not altered. The Vulcan Council cannot permit your Federation to mine the lithium crystals on our planet.
We have shown the Council historical proof that our missions are peaceful.
We accept that your Federation is benevolent at present, but the future is always in question. Our dilithium crystals present awesome power. Wrongful use of that power, even to the extent of the taking of one's life, would violate our history of total peace. To prevent that, we would die, Captain, as a race, if necessary.
I admire your ethics and hope to prove ours. Kirk to Enterprise.
Spock here.
Report on magnetic storm, Mr. Spock.
Standard ion type, Captain, but quite violent and unpredictable.
Rough ride.
If we stay.
Stand by to beam up landing party. Plot an extended orbit to clear disturbance. Kirk out.
We focus on the bridge.
Comply, Mr. Sulu.
Aye, sir.
We focus on the planet's surface.
When may we resume discussion?
The Council will mediate further, but do not be hopeful of any change. Captain, you do not have the might to force the crystals from us, of course.
But we won't. Consider that. Enterprise. Transporter room. Energize.
We focus on the transporter room. Spock has just entered. Lieutenant Kyle is working on the transporter controls.
Trouble, sir?
Four figures start to materialize, then disappear again. The image of Enterprise fades in and out while in orbit and then reverses itself. Finally, four figures solidify, wearing strange uniforms with gold sashes. Uhura's midriff is bare.
Spock was right. It was a rough trip.
Spock and Kyle greet their captain with a semi-Nazi salute. Their uniforms have changed, and Spock has grown a very fetching goatee.
At norm, Mr. Kyle. Controls at neutral.
Yes, sir.
Status of mission, Captain.
No change.
Standard procedure, Captain.
Kirk looks disoriented. but nods.
Mr. Sulu, you will program phaser barrage on Halkin cities.
Yes, Mr. Spock.
Their military capability, Captain.
None.
Regrettable that the society has chosen suicide. Mr. Kyle, you were instructed to compensate during the ion storm.
But I tried, Mr. Spock. I tried.
Carelessness will not be tolerated with the equipment.
But Mr. Spock,
Your agonizer.
No, Mr. Spock.
Your agonizer, please.
A guard restrains Kyle and takes a device from his belt.
No, Mr. Spock. I tried. I really tried. Ow!
Spock places the device on Kyle's collarbone and he writhes in agony. When it is removed, he collapses.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyagers of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Captain's log, stardate unknown. During an ion storm, my landing party has beamed back to the Enterprise and found it all the personnel aboard changed. The ship is subtly altered physically. Behavior and discipline has become brutal, savage.
We focus on the transporter room.
Mr. Scott, the storm has caused some minor damage in your section. There are also injuries requiring your attention, Doctor. Well, gentlemen?
They stare at Spock, unsure of what to say.
Mr. Spock.
Yes.
The power beam jumped for a moment, sir, as the landing party was about to materialize. I never saw it happen before.
Due to your error, Mr. Kyle?
No, Mr. Spock. Before.
Possibly a result of the severe storm. Captain, do you feel any abnormal effects?
Yes. Dr. McCoy, you'd better look us over. That was a rough beam up.
Yes, sir.
The landing party begins to leave the transporter room and Kirk suddenly turns.
Mr. Spock, have those transporter circuits checked.
We focus on the corridor. A passing crewman salutes Kirk as they leave the transporter room.
Captain, what is all this?
How did we get in these?
Not now, not now.
As they continue down the corridor, more crew members salute, and we see that the doors lining the corridor are now emblazoned with a symbol, the Earth, with a dagger through it. We focus on sickbay.
What is all this? Everything's all messed up and changed around. Out of place.
Captain, what's happened?
No, not everything. That spot. I spilled acid there a year ago. Jim, what in blazes is this?
I don't know. It's our Enterprise, but it isn't. Maybe
What, Captain?
any of you feel dizzy when we were in the transporter beam?
Oh, yes.
I?
When we first materialized,
I did.
it happened twice. First, we were in our own transporter chamber, then we faded, and then we finally materialized. We were here. Wherever this is.
Captain! The transporter chief mentioned a surge of poor. The transporter the transporter lock might have been affected by an ion storm, and we just materialized somewhere else.
Yes, here. Not our universe, not our ship. Something parallel, a parallel universe coexisting with ours on another dimensional plane. Everything's duplicated. Almost another Enterprise. Spock with a beard.
Another Captain Kirk? Another Dr. McCoy? Another...
An exchange. If we're here,
Then our counterparts must have been transporting up at the exact same time. Similar storms on both universes disrupted the circuits. We're here, and they're on our Enterprise. Probably asking the same questions. Are we in another universe? And if so, how do we get back to our own? They'll use the computer, and we have to.
what about the Hawkins? We can't let them be destroyed.
Scotty, can you buy me some more time? Get below and short out the main power couplings. They'll think the storm blew the standby circuits.
Ah, sir.
Then get on this technology. It's all we have to work with if we want to get back home. The intercom may be monitored. Use your communicators for private messages, sub-frequency, and scramble.
Ah, sir.
Scott leaves.
Lieutenant,
Yes, sir.
get to your post. Run today's communications from Starfleet Command. I want to know my exact orders and options, if any.
Yes, sir.
Bones?
Captain, I'm...
Uhura, you're the only one that can do it. I'll be right there.
Yes, sir. She leaves.
Bones, let's take a look at the library. We have a lot to learn.
We focus on the bridge. Sulu and Chekov are at their usual spots.
Mr. Chekov, laser setting for a planetary target A.
Coordinates 712 Stock 4, Mr. Sulu.
Port batteries locked.
Uhura enters. She goes to her station. Sulu, with a sly grin, goes over to her. He has a very nasty scar down the side of his face. Uhura looks frightened.
Still no interest in your horror? I can change your mind.
You are away from your post, mister.
Is the captain here? Is Spock here? When the cat's away.
She slaps his hand away. Then Kirk enters. Everyone stands and salutes him, then returns to their stations.
Communication status?
No storm damage, sir. All stations report normal. You're ordered to annihilate the Hawkins unless they comply. No alternative.
Phasers locked on target A, Captain. Approaching optimum range. Commence fire, Captain. Captain.
Stand by, Mr. Sulu.
We focus on the main phaser power control. The door opens and a burly security guard blocks Scott's entrance.
I've been ordered to check the phaser couplings for possible damage by the storm.
Do you have authorization from security, sir?
Captain's orders.
I have to check with Security Chief Sulu, sir.
Never mind. I'll attend to it.
He goes to an intercom.
Kirk here.
Phaser report, sir. No damage.
We focus on the bridge.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Scott. Kirk out.
Spock enters the bridge.
Planet's rotation is carrying primary target beyond arc of phaser lock.
Shall I correct orbit to new firing position?
No.
Spock raises an eyebrow and shoots his captain a look.
Lock on to secondary city.
Aye, sir.
Lieutenant Uhura, contact the Halkan Council. I wish to talk to them again.
Yes, sir.
Captain,
This is a new race. They offer things of value besides dilithium crystals.
but it is clear we cannot expect their cooperation. They refused the Empire. Command procedure dictates that we provide the customary example.
Secondary target now moving beyond our phaser lock.
Put phasers on standby, Mr. Sulu.
A serious breach of orders, Captain.
I have my reasons. I'll make them clear to you in my own good time.
Captain, I have the leader of the Halkan Council waiting on Channel B. Kirk presses a button and Tharn is now on screen.
It is useless to resist us.
We do not resist you.
You have 12 hours to consider your position.
12 years, Captain Kirk, or 12,000. We are ethically compelled to deny your demand for our dilithium crystals, for you would use their power to destroy.
We will level your planet and take what we want. That is destruction. You will die as a race.
To preserve what we are?
We will not argue. 12 hours, no more. Close communications. Turn phasers off.
Aye, sir.
12 hours, Captain? That is unprecedented.
I shall be in my quarters. Lieutenant Uhura, have Dr. McCoy and Mr. Scott meet me there.
Chekov presses a couple of buttons on his console, then leaves his post. Uhura looks panicked that Kirk is going to leave her on the bridge with these savages.
Captain, you've placed yourself in a most grave position. This conduct must be reported.
You're at liberty to do so, Mr. Spock.
We focus on the turbo lift. Chekov is in there with Kirk.
Deck 5, sir?
Kirk ignores Chekov, and as he leaves the lift, someone hits him in the face,
Ow.
and he is grabbed. We focus on the corridor. Chekov pulls a phaser on Kirk while two men hold him against a wall.
So you die, Captain. And we all move up the rank. No one will question the assassination of a captain who destroyed prime orders of the Empire.
Captain's log, supplemental. I command an enterprise where officers apparently employ private henchmen among the crew, where assassination of superiors is a common means of advancing in rank.
We focus on the corridor. Suddenly, one of Chekov's men turns against him, taking his weapon and shooting another. Kirk throws his final assailant, and he gets zapped into molecules too. The turbo lift opens, and 2 armed men come out.
Your man, Captain. Easy, Farrell. I did your job. Ask the captain.
Sir?
Yes, he did your job.
Smart?
Smart boys, switching to the top dog.
Get him out of here.
Who's Wilson?
I have
Mr. Chekov was going to make me a chief. You can make me an officer.
All right, you're working for me.
Commission?
You're in line. You might even make captain.
All right. Yes, sir.
Kirk punches him.
Not on my ship.
the boot for this one, sir.
Yes, the booth. Carry on.
Chekov is taken away. We focus on Kirk's quarters. The 3 men enter warily.
Here. What's this?
It's called blood. Watch your step. The officers move up by assassination. Chekov tried it on me.
Mr. Sulu is security chief, like the ancient Gestapo.
And my sickbay is a chamber of horrors. My assistants were betting on the tolerance of an injured man. How long it would take for him to pass out from the pain.
Report on technology?
Mostly variations in instrumentation. Nothing I can't handle.
Star ratings?
Everything's exactly where it should be, except us.
Let's find out where we stand. Computer?
Ready.
This is the captain. Record security research. To be classified under my voice print or Mr. Scott's.
Recording.
Produce all data relevant to the recent ion storm. Correlate following hypothesis. Could a storm of such magnitude cause a power surge in the transporter circuits, creating a momentary interdimensional contact with a parallel universe?
Affirmative.
At such a moment, could persons in each universe, in the act of beaming, transpose with their counterparts in the other universe?
Affirmative.
Could conditions necessary to such an event be created artificially using the ship's power?
Affirmative.
Record procedure.
Kirk takes a microtape out of the computer. Kirk takes a microtape out of the computer and hands it to Scott.
Scotty, can you do it?
Not by myself. I'll need help. And you'd be too conspicuous.
They both look to McCoy.
I'm a doctor, not an engineer.
Now you're an engineer. I'll have to tap the power we need from the warp engines and balance it for the 4 of us. Huh?
Jim, the way this ship is run, what kind of people are we in this universe?
Let's find out. Computer?
Ready.
Read out official record of current command.
Captain James T. Kirk succeeded to command ISS Enterprise through assassination of Captain Christopher Pike. First action, suppression of Gorline uprising through destruction of rebel home planet. Second action, execution of 5,000 colonists on Vega 9.
Cancel. Now we know.
Captain? We can do it?
Good.
We have to lay in the automatic transporter setting. But when we interrupt engine circuits to tie the power increase into the transporter, I'll show up on Sulu's security board. Of course, we only need a second.
I'll tell Uhura to create a diversion to distract Sulu. At your signal, let's get back to our posts. Keep me advised.
Jim! If we're here, what do you suppose our carnivores are doing in our universe?
On our Enterprise.
We focus on the brig, Prime Enterprise. A furious duplicate captain is being manhandled along the corridor by 2 security guards and thrown into the brig. Uhura, Scott, and McCoy are already there.
I order you, let me go! Traitors! Spock! Get these men off me! What is this?
What are you doing, Spock?
You traitorous pig! I'll hang you up by your Vulcan ears! I'll have you all executed!
I think not. Your authority on the ship is extremely limited, Captain. The 4 of you will remain here in the brig and in custody until I discover how to return you to wherever it is you belong.
Has the whole galaxy gone crazy? What kind of uniform is this? Where is your beard? What's going on? Where's my personal guard?
I can answer none of your questions at this time.
All right, Spock. Whatever your game is, I'll play it. You want credits? I'll give them to you. You want to be a rich man? A command of your own? I can swing that too.
Apparently, some kind of transposition has taken place. I find it extremely interesting.
Spock, what is it that'll buy you? Power?
Fascinating.
Power, Spock? I can get that for you.
We focus on a corridor, Mirror Enterprise. Kirk is walking. Spock joins him from a different corridor. He has a bodyguard with him.
Captain, I am pleased that you frustrated Mr. Chekov's plan. I should regret your death.
Why?
I do not desire the captaincy. I much prefer my scientific duties. I am frankly content to be a lesser target.
Logical, as always, Mr. Spock.
They arrive at a cylinder containing Chekov, who is writhing in agony.
The agony booth is a most effective means of discipline. I presume you've ordered full duration?
I haven't decided.
Indeed. His act warrants death.
I said I haven't decided.
That is, of course, your affair. Captain, may I inquire if you intend to persist in your unusual course of action regarding the Hawkins?
They continue walking. Farrell joins Spock's personal guard walking behind his master.
You heard my orders.
They are, of course, in contradiction to standard Empire procedure. You cannot ignore the consequences.
Is that a threat?
I do not threaten, Captain. I merely state facts. I have found you to be an excellent officer. Our missions together have been both successful and profitable. However, I shall not permit your aberrations to jeopardize my position.
Spock, do you think we should destroy the Hawkins?
Terror must be maintained or the Empire is doomed. It is the logic of history.
Conquest is easy. Control is not. We may have bitten off more than we can chew.
Captain, I do not wish to find myself opposing you, but if you continue on your present course, this confusing, inexplicable behavior
Is my concern, not yours. You would find me a formidable enemy.
I'm aware of that, Captain. I trust that you are aware of the reverse.
Spock and his bodyguard leave.
Orders, sir?
Release Chekov. Confine him to quarters.
Yes, sir.
We focus on engineering. Scott distracts the guard outside the door so McCoy can give him a hypo.
That ought to hold him for about 6 hours.
They go to the upper level, and Scott begins his work. We focus on Kirk's quarters. The room is dark, and a woman is lying on his bed. I fell asleep. We had quite a time in the chem lab picking up after the storm. The woman goes to the food synthesizer and retrieves 2 glasses of what looks like wine. Nothing compared to your day, I gather. I heard about Chekov.
He gambled. I won.
You got lucky. I'm surprised you could be caught off guard that way.
I was preoccupied.
You're still in trouble with Starfleet Command. What you've got in mind this time is beyond me. You're scheming, of course. The Hawkins have something you want. Or is it all some clever means to, advance you to the Admiralty? Kirk? The cabinet itself?
Further than that, if I'm successful.
Really? Well, you must know what you're doing. You always do. If I'm to be the woman of a Caesar, can't I know what you're up to? They begin to kiss, but their kiss is interrupted by the intercom.
Kirk here.
Kirk takes a sip of his drink and walks over to the intercom. We focus on Spock's quarters.
Mr. Spock, Captain,
Yes?
I have received a private communication from Starfleet Command. I am committing a breach of regulations by informing you of its contents.
Yes, Mr. Spock?
I am instructed to wait until planet dawn over principal target to permit you to carry out your mission.
And if I don't?
In that event, I am ordered to kill you and to proceed against the Halkins as the new captain of the Enterprise.
Captain's log, stardate, unknown. We are trapped in a savage, parallel universe from which we must escape within 4 hours, or I will face a death sentence at Mr. Spock's hands.
We focus on Kirk's quarters. Let's drink a toast to Spock, the only man aboard with the decency to warn you, and he'll die for it. They'll never find another man like him.
I don't intend to kill him.
Are you going to act against the Hawkins before the deadline?
No, but I'll avoid killing Spock.
Just get him out of the way. He and his men.
I'll get out of his way.
Shall I activate the Tantalus field? You'll at least want to monitor him, won't you?
Yes.
She touches a wall panel and it rises to reveal a screen and a collection of buttons. I hate this thing.
It's not that bad.
Of course not. It made you captain. How many enemies have you simply wiped out of existence by the touch of a button? 50? 100? Now, I always thought it was funny. The great, powerful Captain Kirk, who owes everything to some unknown alien scientist and a plundered laboratory.
Well, if you don't take advantage of your opportunities.
You don't rise to the command of a starship or even higher. She switches it on, and Spock is seen sitting at his table. That magnificent mind of his. But it can't protect him from this. I press it and he dies. Now? Kirk grabs Marlena's hand to prevent her from pressing the button and switches the monitor off. You really mean it? It doesn't matter. If Spock fails his order, he'll be killed anyway.
I'll see to it that the circumstances of his failure will clear him.
You're like not even afraid of Starfleet Command? Can your scheming bring you that much power so quickly? And what about me? How does Marlena fit in?
How does Marlena want to fit in?
She smiles at him and heads into the other room.
Scotty,
here.
we have to get out of here within 3 hours. Spock has orders to kill me unless I complete the mission.
We've got another deadline too, sir.
Explain.
The two-way matter transmission affected the local field density between the universes, and it's increasing. We've got to move fast.
How fast?
Half hour at the most.
If we miss?
We can't get out of here in a century. We're ready to bridge power from the engines to the transporter. You've got to get it down there and free the board so we can lock in. Give me about 10 minutes. I've got to complete a few more computations.
All right. I'll be in the transporter room in 10 minutes. I'll meet you in sickbay afterwards.
Oh, thank God that's over. Aye, sir.
We focus on Spock's quarters. Spock is sitting at the desk we saw him at earlier.
Computer. Ready. Explain computer activity in the engineering section. All research, security research is in progress. Who is conducting the research? The captain and Mr. Scott. What is the nature of the research? Program is classified under voice index log.
A big red light starts flashing. Spock presses a button on his desk.
Why are you monitoring my communications, Mr. Sulu?
My security board has detected extensive use of computer, Mr. Spock. I was about to inform you. It's hard not to guess the nature of your order from Starfleet Command. I suggest a connection. The captain suspects. He's working on escape.
That
or
is
defense.
my concern.
Correct. It is your play. I hope you succeed, because the order would fall on me next, and you know how Captain Kirk's enemies have a habit of
If I am
disappearing.
successful, you see yourself a step nearer to the captaincy. I do not want to command the Enterprise. But if it should befall me, I suggest you remember that my operatives would avenge my death. And some of them are Vulcans.
We focus on Kirk's quarters. Marlena has changed into something more comfortable and more see-through. Oiling my traps, darling. I'm afraid I'm a little out of practice. Maybe that's what happened to us. It's very hard for a working officer to shine as a woman every minute. And you demand perfection.
I've never seen perfection, but no woman could come closer to it.
I remember when you used to talk that way.
I still do.
Prove it.
I've got to go.
Ship's business? An important task on the crew deck? Well, I guess it's over. Commander Kino will take me temporarily. He's made that quite clear. I'll call a Yaoan to help me with my things.
You don't have to do that.
Are you, like, feeling sorry for me? Do I see hesitation in your eyes about anything? I want one thing, Captain. Transfer me. On the Enterprise, I am humiliated. On another ship, I can hunt fresh game. I've got my rank and, don't I? I've been a captain's woman and I like it. I'll be one again if I have to go through every officer in the fleet.
You could.
She turns to slap him and he stops her.
I simply meant that you could be anything you want to be.
They kiss, long and passionate. It's been a long time since you've kissed me like that. You're a stranger. Mercy to the Hawkins, mercy to Spock, to me. Am I your woman?
You're the captain's woman? Until he says you're not.
She turns on the Tantalus machine and watches him go into a turbolift. We focus on the turbolift.
Uhura?
Yes, Captain.
Scotty's signal should be coming through any moment. You know what to do.
I've got a pretty good idea, sir.
Keep Sulu's attention off that board.
I'll do my best, sir.
Good luck, Kirk out.
Scott is up a Jeffries tube. He signals Uhura. We focus on the bridge. Uhura hears Scott's signal in her earpiece and gets up to whore herself out for the mission. She heads over to Sulu's station. You aren't very persistent, Mr. Sulu. The game has rules. You're ignoring them. I protest. You come back. You didn't come back. Sulu wraps his arms around Uhura's waist.
Ah, you're making sense now.
I was getting bored. Of course, this isn't the time. Sulu begins to kiss Uhura's neck. The board beeps.
Anytime's a good time.
Now that she has sufficiently distracted him, she slaps him hard. I'm afraid I've changed my mind. Again.
You take a lot of chances, Lieutenant.
Sulu gets up to attack her, but Uhura pulls a dagger. So do you, mister. So do you. She backs away from Sulu, dagger still trained on him, and hands her earpiece to another crewman. Take over for me. She goes into the turbolift, and guards block Sulu's way. We focus on the turbolift. Mr. Scott, all clear. On my way to sickbay. We focus on the Jeffries tube.
Now it's up to the captain.
We focus on the transporter room. Spock enters with a phaser pointed at Kirk.
Please restrict your movements, Captain. What are you doing?
Are you going to shoot me now, Spock? I thought I had until dawn.
I shall make that decision. Since your return from the planet, you behaved in a most atypical and illogical manner. I want to know why.
Shoot. You're wasting time.
I shall not waste time with you. You're too inflexible, too disciplined once you've made up your mind. But Dr. McCoy has a plentitude of human weaknesses. Sentimental, soft. You may not tell me what I want to know, but he will.
You're running a big risk, Spock.
I have the phaser, Captain, and I do not intend to simply disappear as so many of your opponents have in the past. If you please, sickbay.
We focus on sickbay. Scotty, McCoy, and Uhura are already in there.
Yes, of course. The entire landing party. Captain, stand over there. Doctor, it is time for answers.
Kirk knocks the phaser out of Spock's hand, and he and Scott try to fight him. Even Uhura gets thrown around. Finally, she hands Kirk a skull and he smashes it over Spock's head. He falls unconscious.
How much time, Scotty?
Hardly 15 minutes. The field densities between the two universes is starting to close very fast.
Help me get him on the table. Well, come on. Help me get him on the table. He'll die without immediate treatment.
Kirk picks up Spock and puts him on one of the beds.
Everything laid in, Scotty? The time lags so the operator can get into the transporter chamber?
All laid in, sir. Come on, McCoy. We're taking a chance of not getting back home.
McCoy is scanning Spock with a tricorder.
We'll get home. This won't take long.
We focus on Kirk's quarters. Marlena is still watching on the Tantalus screen.
14 minutes. We've got to go.
Shut up. I can save his life.
We focus on sickbay.
Do you want me to stop Jim? It'll only take a minute.
He is very much like our own Mr. Spock, isn't he? You've got that minute.
A little time. He'll live.
Sulu and 3 henchmen march in.
What is this, Mr. Sulu?
Mr. Spock has orders to kill you, Captain. He will succeed, apparently. You also appear to have killed him after a fierce battle. Regrettably, but it will leave me in command.
Suddenly, one of the henchmen disappears, and another. We see Marlena in the captain's quarters, pressing the button on the Tantalus machine. She presses the button again, and Sulu is alone. Kirk disarms and knocks him out easily.
Captain, we've barely got 10 minutes.
Let's go, Bones.
I can't let him die, Jim. You get on to that transporter room. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
No longer.
I guarantee it. Now, go on, please.
Kirk, Scott, and Uhura leave. McCoy gives Spock an injection. Spock sits up and grabs McCoy's arms.
Why did the captain let me live?
When McCoy doesn't answer, he pushes him against the wall and does a mind meld.
Our minds are merging, Doctor. Jim! Our minds are one. I feel what you feel. I know what you know.
focus on the transporter room. Marlena is waiting for them.
A friend. Activate the transporter. You saved us back at sickbay with the Tantalus field.
Take me with you.
I can't. I'm sorry. Our power is balanced for 4. There's no guarantee that we'll make it with 5. All could die. Scotty?
Sorry. It's working, sir.
But there are like only 3 of you.
1 is coming. I'd help you if I could, Marlena. Believe that.
She raises her phaser.
If you kill us, you'll still stay.
Uhura disarms Marlena.
Where's McCoy? Time, Scotty?
5 minutes, sir.
Do you know what they'll do to me?
The power's cut, sir. They're onto us.
Auxiliary?
Aye, it's available.
Can you bridge to your setup?
I can get us to the power, but the automatic setting is linked to the transporter main. If we bypass, that means that someone has got to operate the controls manually.
One of us will have to stay.
I'll stay, Captain.
Get to the transporter chamber. You too, Uhura.
Jim!
That's an order, Scotty.
Aye, Captain.
What about me?
McCoy?
Spock enters with McCoy.
I cut the transporter power. It was necessary to delay your beam out until I could arrive. Take him.
Scott guides McCoy to the transporter pad.
Engineering. Reactivate main transporter circuits.
You're a man of integrity in both universes, Mr. Spock.
You must return to your universe. I must have my captain back. I shall operate the transporter. You have 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
In that time, I have something to say. How long before the Hulkan prediction of galactic revolt is realized?
Approximately 240 years.
The inevitable outcome?
The Empire shall be overthrown, of course.
The illogical waste, Mr. Spock. The waste of lives, potential, resources, time. I submit to you that your empire is illogical because it cannot endure. I submit that you are illogical to be a willing part of it.
You have 1 minute and 23 seconds.
If change is inevitable, predictable, beneficial, doesn't logic demand that you be a part of it?
One man cannot summon the future.
But one man can change the present. Be the captain of the Enterprise, Mr. Spock. Find a logical reason for sparing the Hulkans and make it stick. Push till it gives. You can defend yourself better than any man in the fleet.
Captain, get in the chamber.
What about it, Spock?
A man must also have the power.
In my cabin, there's a device that will make you invincible.
Indeed.
What will it be? Past or future? Tyranny or freedom? It's up to you.
It is time.
In every revolution, there's one man with a vision.
Spock starts up the transporter.
Captain Kirk, I shall consider it.
He beams them away. We focus on the transporter room, back on the proper Enterprise, and in the right outfits. Spock is there, without his majestic goatee.
Spock,
Welcome home, Captain.
We focus on the bridge.
What I don't understand is how were you able to identify our counterparts so quickly?
It was far easier for you as civilized men to behave like barbarians than it was for them as barbarians to behave like civilized men. I assume they returned to their enterprise at the same time you appeared here.
Probably. However, that Jim Kirk will find a few changes if I read my Spocks correctly.
Jim, I think I liked him with a beard better. It gave him character. Of course, almost any change would be a distinct improvement.
What worries me is the easy way his counterpart fitted into that other universe. I always thought Spock was a bit of a pirate at heart.
Indeed, gentlemen. May I point out that I had an opportunity to observe your counterparts here quite closely. They were brutal, savage, unprincipled, uncivilized, treacherous. In every way, splendid examples of Homo sapiens, the very flower of humanity. I found them quite refreshing.
I'm not sure, but I think we've been insulted.
I'm sure.
A woman steps out of the turbo lift. She looks very familiar. Captain Kirk.
Lieutenant?
Marlena Moreau. I was just assigned last week.
All right, Lieutenant. Carry on.
You've met her before, Captain?
Why do you ask?
Your reaction? One of recognition?
Oh, no. We haven't met before exactly. She just seemed a nice, likable girl. I think we could become friends. It's possible.
Yes, that concludes our reading of Star Trek Radio Theater's Mirror, Mirror from Star Trek, the original series. I'm Dave Mader and Jane Mader here, coming to you from the command center. Let's bring in all the cast now. We have here in the top right-hand corner of your screen, we have Kevin Millard playing the role of Captain Kirk, Mirror and Prime versions. We also have Ashley Millard in the role of the narrator, as well as Marlena Moreau and Uhura in both Mirror and Prime. Also, we had Jeff in the role. I'm sorry?
Yeah. Uhura? Hora?
Uhura is
Uhura?
Uhura? Yes. We had Jane in the role of Dr. McCoy.
Yeah.
Down here in the bottom.
Jim!
Yes. Jeff, you were in the role of Scotty. You were also Chekov. You were also Farrell, right?
And Kyle.
And Kyle is the transporter guy.
Kyle was amazing.
Yeah.
What was Kyle exactly?
He was a beetle.
Yeah.
He's very Bashir.
Yeah, in another
Very-
time, in another place.
And then we had Tom, Mott, Tyrell in the roles, several roles. I believe you were Sulu primarily, but I'm trying to recall all of them. You were a security guard outside of the phaser room. You were, who else were you? You were the Halkin leader in the episode, like the guy who was like, "We'll die as a race for our dilithium crystals." And then we also had
You.
me. I was Spock and the computer.
And the computer.
Yes, and so yeah, that was
Good job,
fun.
Dave.
Very good, Fox.
Yeah, that episode is mostly Spock and Kirk, really, and
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
other people. So this was like, even with like just the six of us, we have more than this. This was still probably more than we needed, but it worked out. It was a good size, Jane, did you have fun?
Yeah, I did.
Did you like when I mind melded with you and it caused me to take on some?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the physical contact. He literally
I grabbed her.
grabbed me.
I grabbed her as a method. Like that.
I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I was like, because you're like Spock grabs McCoy, and there was no sound effect, but I felt like I need this for me as the actor, you know.
Very method.
Very
of you.
method. So nice.
Dave is the Daniel Day-Lewis of Star Trek Radio.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He is. Jeff, you
Like when he does
guys have
his-
been
when
here
he does
too.
his
He acts it
Ferengi.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do whatever I need to sort of get.
And sometimes he'll like a Gestapo stomp.
Yeah, sometimes I stomp things. Sometimes
Yeah.
I make like. It's good that I'm not on camera for when I do these voices. So yeah,
That's good.
that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys all did too. That was
Kirk and Marlena were bringing a lot of heat. Like felt like there was a connection there.
Yeah, I felt like they, maybe
Yeah.
their pre-existing relationship served that.
Shine through.
I love,
Yeah,
the
I
end of the, I love the end of the episode where Kirk's like, "Hey, it's possible. You know, maybe I'll
Yeah,
get."
he's
some."
like,
Yeah.
of course. The episode ends with, "I could probably do her in two
Yeah,
universes."
I can
Yeah,
hit
Fucking
that.
yeah.
like that.
Why not here too?
Why not?
You know?
That's right.
It's possible.
I'm the captain.
I'm gonna make her the captain's woman here too.
His last line is literally, "Oh no, we haven't met before exactly. She just seemed nice, likable girl.
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah.
can become friends. It's possible." That's the end.
It's an interesting ending to the episode. Yeah, like after everything here, the whole point is that he's got like a possibly a new date here.
He's a big perv.
Yeah.
Do you think she turned him down?
Yeah.
Do you think she said yes?
No.
I don't know.
We don't
never
know
see her
enough
again.
about
We don't
your-
know.
I don't
He's
know.
the
She seemed to
captain.
be a
She
little
can't say
stunned
no.
by the captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she maybe went on at least one date with him, right? And who knows? Who knows? It was Captain Kirk. He got around.
Date.
Yeah, and you know Kirk doesn't have any dates that don't end in sex.
Yeah.
Okay, now Jeff, we got to talk here, man, because you and I are of Scottish descent. We should do better with these when we're given Scotty than we do. But I'm not singling you out. I'm putting myself in here. I'm
Well,
not a
that's
good.
where-
I don't make a good
that's-
Scotty, and I'm going on the
where you
record.
got-
You don't.
That's where you missed the point because that was my.
Jeff was doing your Scotty.
I was doing your Scotty.
You're
Poor,
my
the-
Scotty.
He's the
Poor.
poor.
Hey, did your Scotty become a cowboy for like 2 lines or not?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was doing it, Dave. I was doing like an old prospector. I was doing a Russian guy. I was doing a beetle. I mean, it was a lot of different
Yeah, you
voices
were
going
juggling
on
a
in my
lot.
head.
I
You
was.
guys had the luxury of one voice for the most of you.
You and Mott were in the trenches. Yes,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, you were guys. Were
I think I heard Arnold at one point too.
Yeah, I did an Arnold. at one
Yeah,
point,
there was an
yeah.
Arnold.
Yeah.
You know,
Scottish Arnold.
'cause I felt Scotty is like sometimes he was like my impression wheel Rolodex.
Yeah, he was. He was always like preemptively talking over Kirk. He was always
Yeah.
like answering Kirk's question before he had finished asking the question.
He's psychic.
It's like consistent. Yeah, he's
Well,
like.
I was also kind of trying to do Simon Pegg Scotty, but that was difficult as well.
You were like, I'm going to
Yeah.
throw all of this inspiration into my Scotty.
Yeah.
And he'll just-
I wanna
it's
hear
very-
Now I want to hear your dad's Scotty. Like I want to hear every mater do a
Every
Scottish
mater.
accent.
What about Rich?
Rich can probably do it the best
Yeah.
of any of us.
Well,
I don't
that's
think
not fun, then.
I've never heard our dad do any accent of any
No.
kind ever.
No.
No, right, Jeff? Like, have you ever heard Dad make a voice?
No, even when he makes fun of like Pakistani people or anything, he doesn't do a voice.
He never.
He
No.
makes Pakistan.
That's a great thing to have
Oh.
live.
You got that on tape.
Yeah.
Well, he does sometimes.
I thought all the
it's not-
Canadians
you know,
were
it's not-
nice. Now this Canadian makes fun of
Passive
Pakistani.
aggressive is
That's
more.
that was in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was back in the
Yeah,
old,
back in the 80s
many
when he did
years.
that.
Back in the 80s.
Yeah, in the fable times before they
I didn't-
invented
When things are different.
Yeah, when things were different in the old century, in the old time.
Right.
Yeah. Not in the 21st century where we're very woke. So it's all good. So let's transition out of here. Woo. What else we got going on, guys?
Who
I
cares?
do podcasts.
Yeah.
A bunch of them.
Here and there.
We do a bunch of them. We're gonna be back next week. Star Trek Radio Theater. No, there is no Mirror Universe episode for original or for Next Generation. I'm sorry, that will be up next. So I want to do yesterday's Enterprise, which was the first episode we ever did of Star Trek Radio Theater, but I kind of want to do it again and with a bigger cast and
A redo.
a redo. And I'm not the narrator this time. I was the narrator the first time. That was before. There was the old days before I actually took over narration. Or was it only that one?
You only got one?
Was it only the one time? I think maybe it was only that 1 week, right?
One
No,
and
I think
done.
you did- No, I think you did 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You as the narrator.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
you did
Okay.
2.
And then I stopped because I was
First
like, no, this is too much. So
I think
that
the
would be-
second time you did it, you did much better. This one, you
Yeah.
were just fast, right? Like yesterday's
Yeah.
Enterprise, you were just
it was just like I
fast.
was trying, and we probably, if anything, so it would be nice because we already have the script, but if anything, we have to cut down the narration because we kind of learned after that first time out that
I think
Yeah.
it's a good idea.
Oh yeah, I
to
remember
start.
that. That's
Yeah.
right. It was a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
I don't have an editable version of the script. I'll just have to
No,
do
yeah,
that
I'll-
and edit out.
I
a bunch.
can copy and paste that
I'll
from
just
when we.
start it again. We'll just do it like we never did it before.
Yeah,
We got a
that's what I
coolant
mean.
leak. We got a coolant leak on the engine deck.
Which, okay.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
that
so
episode.
yeah, we
isn't
good.
it?
It is that same one. I think
Yeah.
we're gonna try to get as many of us back into at least one of our roles again. I think I might want, but
I was Guinan.
you were Guinan,
yeah.
but you were also like the Captain Rachel. So you
Oh,
probably
yeah,
won't be, you
I
probably
was
won't be
both,
both.
yeah, I forgot I was
this
her,
time
yeah.
around or whatever. So, and we'll get hopefully I'm hoping Michael and Jessica will be back in the next one, and there's Jamil and Adam and Jody out there, and there's other people now that want to join up with episodes and take on weeks, and we got quite some interest out there. So we're gonna try to get other people in as we progress through the season. Whenever we have an opening or whatever, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I hope you're enjoying this.
Guest stars.
Guest stars, yes, guest stars. Yes, so we have that. We have Star Trek Radio Theater, which will continue out throughout 2021. We also do Deep Space Nine rewatches with Jeff and me and the Millards and Jamil on Tuesdays. Check that out. We're finishing up season 2 right now. Only 2 episodes left to go. We got Tribunal coming up this week with the beginning of the O'Brien Must Suffer arc, and then on Wednesdays we do original series rewatches where we pick a random episode. I can't remember right off the bat what we're doing next, but we do a random episode every Wednesday on original series with myself and my dad and Jeff and Jody and Adam Woodward, and we also have a back catalog of other stuff including Star Trek Discovery season 3, Star Trek Picard season 1, Star Trek Lower Decks season 1. That's all up there, and some other great stuff we have on Live Long and Podcast, as well as Super Mater Brothers Podcasting and Trivial Debates, our other channels. So hey, this was great. Lots of fun. We'll be back next week with our first redo ever. Start yesterday's Enterprise, fresh with sounds and some other stuff. So looking forward to that a lot. Thanks everybody. Great performances all.
Well, we have a French captain.
Well, we don't.
Not good enough, damn it.
Not good enough. Yes, I think I would like another shot at it. So we're good to see.